Hey, it's What's Up Wednesday with James, and today it is December 21st. We're just a few short days from Santa coming and seeing everybody, and I think that's going to be great to celebrate Christmas. And my hope and goal and wish for everybody is that they have a very wonderful Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and obviously just another week later we'll be heading into a new year with 2023, and I want to wish everybody a happy new year. So today's message is going to be basically a repeat of something I've said in the past, but I want to share with you the seriousness of when I bring these messages to you of what you could be up against if you just don't adhere to our advice and suggestions where the Georgia Real Estate Commission is concerned. So this week, I received a certified signed receipt letter from the Georgia Real Estate Commission, sent to me directly. It was a citation that was sent to me based upon something that I've been preaching about, I know in several different past videos that I share with you. But I've had people argue with me over this, argue with Ryan over this, and I'm telling you, from this citation that was issued to one of my agents, and fortunately, from our company perspective, this citation was literally issued to me because the agents were my firm, but actually this violation took place when this agent was with the previous company she was with. So I'm just going to dive right on into it. We talk about agency relationship all the time. I've shared this with numerous people. It is critical that we must disclose what the agency relationship is between the buyer and or seller with the real estate company / brokerage firm. Failure to do so can get you a citation that's been issued to an agent of mine that it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and she is going to have to, unfortunately, have to pay this fine and take these continuing education classes that we'll talk about in just a minute. So let's talk about it. Agency relationship again. And my goal is to not only educate the public, but educate my agents and any other agent that wants to listen to this message. When you represent a seller, you're either going to represent that seller as a client or customer, nothing else. Nothing else. Well, the seller wants to represent themselves, so we're just going to put non-applicable there. You can't do it. You're either representing them as a client or customer. And to prove the point that you represent them as a client, what documentation that you need to make that client relationship work is the exclusive listing agreement. You list the house, you get an exclusive listing agreement signed, that seller becomes the client. Well, what about for sale by owners? That is when the seller is being represented as a customer, and you use the authorization to show unlisted property. It's one or the other. It's nothing else. It's not NA. It's not, let's not fill it out. Let's not check any boxes under number 10. It's either client or customer. One or the other. Pretty simple. Now, there is designated agency in there as well, which means under designated agency, under my brokerage firm, I could designate one of my agents to work with the seller as a client and another one of my agents to work with a buyer as a client. That's all under the umbrella of Southern Classic Realtors, deemed to be designated agency. But just in the mere simplicity of representing a seller as a client or customer, one or the other has to be checked. And you have to have the supporting documents to make sure that takes place too. Let's flip to the other side, the buyer side. People have argued about this all the time. And when the Real Estate Commission cracks a fine like they did on this one, you're going to get it. The buyer is either got to be represented as a client or a customer. If it's a client, you need the exclusive buyer's engagement agreement. That forms the relationship between the brokerage firm, that agent, and that buyer as a client. You would check that box. Underneath it, customer. You would need, if they're a customer, you're going to mark that and use the customer acknowledgement agreement form. Again, one or the other, not non-applicable, not that they were representing themselves. You must declare what the relationship is in a Georgia purchase and sales agreement as to whether or not that person is a client or a customer. I can't make it any simpler. And when you don't, what happened in this case is the agent got fined $800. $800 because you didn't take the time to correctly check the box and then have the supporting documents to back up that relationship. $800. And on top of that, the agent has to do 3 hours of continuing education, and they're requiring her to take 3 hours approved by the Georgia Real Estate Commission, and the class is called Practicing Real Estate and Staying Out of Trouble. That's the 3-hour class that she must take. And the fine must be paid. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Also, one other thing I want to mention, and sometimes we get a little ham scam at doing this. She also failed to include her firm's license number on the transaction. Fill out the contract properly. Make sure you don't leave a blank. NA or TBD, to be determined, unexcusable. Put something there. Fill it out. Do your job right, and you won't be forced to have to get some kind of citation like this. Oh, and by the way, it becomes a public record. And you just want to be careful. I've had a conversation with my agent, and she definitely has been taught well since she's been with me. I can't help what happens before an agent is with my brokerage firm. She understands what's taking place. She admits that there was an error, and we do make mistakes. We are human. We make mistakes, and sometimes you just have to get your smack on the hand and move forward and learn from it. We got to always protect the buyers and sellers. The Real Estate Commission will always stand up for making sure that the consumer is never taken advantage of. So I don't know how else I can say it other than the fact is, make sure you understand agency relationship and make sure that you have properly marked the correct box and then have the supporting documentation to support that relationship of how you're going to represent a buyer or seller, whether they're a client or a customer. Okay, guys, it's that simple. I hope this helps. I never want to see anybody get in trouble. We always want to do the best we can. We always want to take care of the buyers and sellers and have successful, happy closings to get to the closing table, because that's what we do. And I've said it before, the contract, if we do our job right, we know the contract, it's going to allow us to help people, and for doing so, we're going to get paid nicely for it. And on the flip side, when we don't know the contract, it's either going to get you in trouble and you have to pay fines. You can have to do continuing education. You have to possibly go through a lawsuit, or even maybe lose your real estate license because you just were not paying attention and making sure that you truly are the professional that you need to be. So in the weeks to come, the 23 contract is going to be revised, and there's going to be a lot of educational classes to take to make sure that you're up on all the revisions of the 2023 contract. So make sure between now and the end of next January 23, next month, that you make sure that you are signed up and take a class and understand what the new revisions are going to be looking like. It's your responsibility, and it's your responsibility to know it so you can help the buyer and seller accordingly. So I'll probably take 2 or 3 of them just to make sure that I'm on top of my game and make sure I know exactly what takes place. January 23rd, Wiseman Law will be doing a Zoom class, a free 3-hour continuation education class for all of my Southern Classic Realtors agents, right? All of our agents, free 3-hour CE class, January 23rd on the contracts revision coming up for 2023. So I've got that worked out. Stay tuned to hear more about that. Again, I hope this is helpful. I want to wish everybody, again, a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. My prayers everybody is safe and that you enjoy the season with family and friends. And remember the season, and the season was Christ our Lord being born. So thanks again. Until next time, Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you soon.